Good evening everyone and welcome to Sugar and Crumbs. My name's Tracey Mann from Tracey Mann Cakes, and today I'm going to be doing some painting. So I'm doing a sitting down activity this evening as Kelly had me up at 4:30 this morning. I now need to sit down and have a rest. So this evening we're going to be doing some painting. So that's what I thought we would do, as I've done lots and lots of cakes over the last few weeks for Halloween. I think I'm completely Halloweened out now. I did put up some of the pictures on the Sugar and Crumbs page that I have done. If you have missed any of them, then they are all on the YouTube channel. I'm just going to put that up there for you now, and you will be able to go over there and have a look and see everything I've done for Halloween. So if you're having a week with kids at home, or you're inspired, or you fancy doing something, then nip over to YouTube, because then all of the cakes are on there. Before I get started, I am aware that we don't, or you are aware, and I'm aware too, funny enough, that I'm not in the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen, and therefore we're not streaming on YouTube at this time. But this video, once it's completed, will be on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, and I will upload it the following day. So if you are having any difficulties watching this video tonight, you won't find it on Sugar and Crumbs YouTube, but you will find it on my YouTube channel tomorrow, and I will put that up. So if anybody's struggling, then please let me know. Elaine Lawton, I'm looking so well, she says.
Looking gorgeous.
I'm very tired. And that is Kelly's fault, nobody else's. So there we go. Right, so I'm not on my own tonight. Kelly is currently in Amsterdam, so Kelly is not here. She's going to be posting some pictures soon when she's got herself settled and sorted, because she only arrived today. I have got my lovely friend Morella here this evening.
Good evening, everyone.
So Morella is my very good friend. So if you have any questions tonight, then do please let us know, and we will be more than happy to help you. And we will also put up any links that you need to any classes or anything else that we are looking at this evening. I'm going to take this down now, because we all know who I am and where everything is. So if you want to, we're going to look at classes shortly. So I'm going to go through a few bits and pieces. Some classes have appeared recently on Sugar and Crumbs. There was a discussion about cake pricing, I believe, earlier in the week, which I think I missed, but we suddenly had this massive surge of people asking to join our How to Price Cakes group. Now that How to Price Cakes group is actually a lesson, and if you want to join it, then you are going to need to pay for your lesson. So you've got to find the link now, haven't you? I'm looking at Morella now. Tracey Mann Cake School.
Okay.
Facebook Lives.
Okay.
Just bear with us here. Just bear Facebook Lives.
Okay.
And then How to Price Cakes.
Okay.
Anyway, I did this very nice class called How to Price Cakes a while back, and it is a Facebook Live that's happened already, but with loads of sheets that you can download. So if you are struggling to price your cakes, and I would say at this time it is very important, if you haven't already, reviewed your prices, because as we all know, everything is going up and down, left, right and centre, including petrol and various other things. Cake boards are becoming a rarity. So please, if you are in my pricing group already, or you'd like to join my pricing group, have a look at your figures again, because things have changed rapidly. Have you found it?
So go onto your site.
Tracey Mann Cake School. You on the right one?
Oh.
She's on the wrong one.
See, I'm on the wrong one already. Sack the assistant.
It's very early, you know. Tracey Mann Cake School. Have you found that one? We'll get there in a minute. It's fine. There's no panic, is there? Anyway, we will find that. So yes, I do have a class called How to Price Cakes. It's £10 to join. It's already taken place as a Facebook Live. Hey, Nikki's done it for you.
Oh, thanks, Nikki. She's a saviour.
She's my online PA.
For you.
I know, she's brilliant. There you go, Nikki's put the link up for you.
Brilliant.
So
thank you.
She's saved Morella. So if you do want to join the pricing class, so cake pricing is a real issue, and I do read loads and loads of posts on Sugar and Crumbs about pricing. This class will help you, and I have asked the people in the pricing group to comment on that post to say whether it was of benefit to them, because I could tell you that any of my classes are brilliant, but of course that's me, isn't it, telling you they're brilliant. But actually, if the people who've done the class have had some benefit out of them and tell you they're brilliant, then that's great, isn't it? So do pop over and have a little read on there as well. But it is, it's going to help you. It's meant to help you. For £10, you get, I think, about 6 or 7 sheets to download, plus a full live, which was 2 hours long. And it does talk as well about not only pricing your cakes, but also about how to deal with customers, how to say no, how to say yes, and how to be confident with things, which is also really, really important when you come to deal with customers, even if they're friends or family or whoever they are, just being confident about what you're doing. So if you are interested in that, the link has gone up. Nikki's put that up. Then pop over there and have a look. It's just £10. It's going to be the best £10 you've ever spent. I can tell you that now. Right, okay, so let's move on to what we're going to be doing this evening. So I thought we would do some painting this evening, and I've tried to do something slightly different. We're going to actually attempt, notice the word attempt, we're going to attempt to do some poppy painting. We're going to do a poppy wreath. I had a very close look at a few cutters this afternoon, and it sort of came to my view that actually the Blossom Leaf cookie cutter set, which are cookie cutters, I've got cookie cutter set on the brain.
Start again.
I was up very early this morning. Please bear with me. The Blossom Patchwork Cutters, let's get that right. Patchwork Cutters, Blossom Leaf, there we go. Looks very much like a poppy, and therefore I thought, well, my brain started to tick, as it normally does at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I started to think, actually, do you know what, I think this might work as a wreath. So we're going to give this a go, but we're going to do it on a biscuit. So we're going to do a poppy cookie wreath, that's the plan. And we're also going to do a biscuit as well, using the actual poppy cutter that belongs to Patchwork Cutters, and I will talk you through that as we go, because the cookie is smaller than the Patchwork Cutter, but we will get there and I will explain it all. So for those of you that have done cocoa butter painting before, I know there's a few of you on here because I've seen your names pop up already. For those of you that haven't, then hopefully this will give you a nice little insight into everything, because I have released all my Christmas classes. So all my Christmas cake painting classes are now available, including royal icing as well. You can see one of them in the background there. There's Christmas candles there behind me. Don't be scared, they're not as scary as they look. Loads of you have done them and been very successful. So if you fancy having a go at doing some Christmas cake painting this year, then this is for you. So hopefully this little demonstration here will get you in the mood to have a go at cake painting. So let's have a look at all the equipment and bits and pieces that you're going to need. I'm just going to grab some kitchen roll from the other side. There we go. Right, let's get sorted. So let's have a look what we need to do. Even I've got to think for the minute. We're going to roll out the sugar paste first. So I'm going to bring this up on screen. So this is what we're going to use tonight. So I've made this earlier today. Now I'm actually going to run a couple of little videos now just to show you how I did this, because these are actual biscuits that I've made. So I'm just going to put a couple of videos on now just so you can see. I've got to make sure I play you the right video. I might end up playing you the wrong one. So here we go. So in order to make a wreath cookie, I have got here a 5-inch round board, and I'm just going to pop that onto the cookie mix that's actually already on the tray. I'm going to take a knife and I'm going to cut all the way around. So I'm not going to move it.
Brilliant.
It's going to remain in place. Like so. Then I'm just going to peel the cookie mix away. Like so. I'm going to lift this up. Okay, so I've got my round cookie like so. Next thing I'm going to do is take a 2.5-inch cutter, and I'm going to place that into the centre of this cookie mix. Make sure I get it in the middle. Press it down, give it a little twist, and then I'm just going to take that centre out, and then I'm going to bake the cookie like this. So whatever recipe you're using, you then just follow your baking instructions from that point. So I filmed it. So as soon as this comes out of the oven, you can trim this, but you will need to do it while it's still warm. So you need to be a little bit careful here, but if it's spread at all, mine has a tiny bit, nothing too drastic, then I'm just going to take my knife, cut round my wreath, and then I can take my cutter again and I can pop that over
Well,
the
I've got
top.
a stand at home, you see,
And I
that
can
I've
go
been
in
putting
and make that
this, my phone on.
more accurate. So I
see
can go
when
and
it
just
starts
press
to run out,
down.
it goes red.
Remember it's hot,
Oh, they
so
can
be
still hear us.
careful.
Oh, okay,
Give it a little twist and pull it out like that. You need to be careful because otherwise you could end up sort of breaking. You hear me chatting in the background. It's good, isn't it? I like these videos. They're meant to try and help you, see. We're just chatting away. You can tell everything's live, can't you? The idea with it is that to show you how to do the cookie rather than just basically turning up and going, there's the cookie, because that's not very helpful, is it? We want to be helpful here. Gremlins in the background. That's Morella and me chatting, you see. I think we were saying nice things, weren't we?
Well, I think so. We weren't being rude. I didn't swear.
We didn't swear.
It's a miracle.
Right, let's have a look at what we're going to do then now. You can hear us laughing. Yeah, that's us too. We're always laughing, aren't we? Right, okay. Let's get going. So we're just going to need the sugar paste. We're going to put some sugar paste onto this biscuit. Put a bit of icing sugar down, stop it sticking to the table. I don't think I need as much as that. We've gone a bit wild here. Oh, I'm getting hot now. Let's take this cardigan off. Right, that's better. Okay. Right, let's roll this out. There we go. So I don't want this to be too thick. I just want it to be a base for the cookie. So I don't want sort of great big thick layers of sugar paste on here. I'm also taking it with me clearly by the looks. So whatever sugar paste you like, it's fine. Okay, now similar to the biscuit, we're going to cut this out. So my little 5-inch cake board is going down. Let's pick up a knife. I've been organised today. But yeah, the cardigan's off. Yeah, I'm in business now. Okay, so we're going to just cut round this. Now I've kind of got the same issue in terms of moving this because obviously it's going to stretch and do all sorts of funny things. So I'm just going to pick this up and put it onto there as quickly as I can. There we go. I'm going to put some sugar, icing sugar under there so it keeps moving, because what I don't want it to do is stick to the board. And then I'm going to take my cutter, which should be that one. So size wise, I think I told you on the video anyway, that's a 5-inch and this is a 2-inch.
They probably couldn't hear it.
They probably couldn't hear it because we were chatting. Okay, there we go. Put that down like that. Take that out the middle. Then we're probably going to have to make some adjustments to kind of get it all to fit, but that's absolutely fine. We can do all of that. I'm going to move that out the way again. I'm just going to bring in another container here, and I've got some whipping it up here, everybody. There we go, whipping it up. And all I'm going to do is just literally ooh, that will do, tiny bit of, gosh, there's always a snowstorm. I've had a snowstorm now. Help me. Oh, there's a snowflake. Right, okay, so I'm going to put a tiny bit of water in here, just like a little dribble. Let's see how we go, maybe a little bit more. And then I'm just going to make up a bit of a glue, basically. That's what I'm going to do. So sometimes when you make up royal icing glue, you don't need to use the whole bag or anything like that. Just get yourself a little bit of icing sugar and a bit of water and just mix it all together. Might need to put a little bit more. I put too much water in now. Let's put a bit more in. Ooh, I'm still chucking it everywhere. There we go. Clearly you don't need very much. And this is, what have I got here? What flavour is this? No, this is white chocolate and raspberry.
I thought I could smell the raspberry.
Yeah, look, it's there on that label.
Buttercream.
Put too much in now. Oh, going like one way to the other tonight. We will get there in a minute. Let's put on a tiny bit more. Tiny bit more. There we go. I just want it so I can make it sticky. That's the idea. There we go. Done. Right, thank goodness for that. Okay, let's bring this in. Gosh, it is strong, isn't it? You can really smell it.
Smells nice.
Okay. Oh, I need to do that as well. I forgot to do that. Paintbrush, where are we? Here we go. So let's grab a paintbrush. And then all I'm going to do, so when you do a cookie, you don't need to put down absolutely tons and tons of royal icing to stick your sugar paste on. Just keep it quite dry. People can, you know, say, oh, my biscuit's gone soft and all this stuff. It's because you probably put too much icing on. So just be careful. Somebody asked me today, and I believe they're live at the moment, or on here at the moment, how long you can keep cookies for without them going soft. You want to kind of keep them in an airtight tin, but you know, they are biscuits, they are cookies. Cookies tend to be a little bit more softer. So, I mean, if I wanted to say biscuits for Saturday, I might start maybe on Monday. I don't know, something like that. Right, let's lift this on. So we'll put that on as carefully as we can. And then before it settles down, just move it out to the outside edge. There we go. Like so. We'll leave that there, and then I just need to do that one because I forgot. As I say, I'm not 100% switched on. Morella's propping me up, really. That's what's happening.
Yeah. I'll just nudge.
She's just going to nudge me every so often, yeah. There we go. So we'll give this a little... Jackie, that was it. That was Jackie that asked me that question earlier today. There we go. So again, you don't need this to be ultra thick. We just need this to be just a thin covering, okay? So you don't have to make it really, really thick. This one I used a larger cookie cutter for. And then what we'll do is we'll just pop some more of this in. I mean, you could make this a little bit, what was the word I was going to use? Oh, I suppose a little bit more water in there if you want to, but that's fine. It's doing the job. Okay, right, let's grab this. That's that cutter there. Obviously the biscuit's got a little bit bigger. I didn't bother to trim this biscuit. It's a round biscuit. I don't think we need to be that sort of precise over it. I was quite happy with it as is. If I want to make it a little bit bigger, I can always, you know, get my smedger and spread it out.
Just there by you.
I've got one next to me. Look at that. That was extremely good. So you can always, when you press your cookies down, don't do it with your fingers, do it with something else, because otherwise you start imprinting your hands all over everything. We don't want that. So let's use something like this. How are we doing?
Really
Lovely. Good. So far, so good. Okay. That's fine. There we go. I'm just being fussy. Right, okay, let's get hold of, so we're going to use two cutters tonight. We're going to use this one, which is the poppy cutter from Patchwork, and we're going to use this one, which is part of Blossom and Leaf. Now you can clearly see that this poppy cutter is way too big to do a biscuit or to do a cupcake. However, there's no reason why you need to use all of it. You can just use side versions of it to do it. So we're going to do a whole biscuit like this, and we're going to do a wreath. So I'm just going to take hold of my poppy cutter or embosser. You can cut with this, but you can also emboss with it. And I'm just going to go for sort of a portion of this. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to very carefully just press this down. So I haven't got all of it, I've got some of it.
Did you rub that in the icing sugar?
I did, just to stop it sticking. I'm just going to lift that up. Okay, there we go, like that. Now, what I'm then going to do is just take my finger with some icing sugar and I'm just going to rub over that so that the imprint mark comes up a bit. Otherwise, you get such deep indents in this that the paint runs into it. So we want to try and stop that as best we can. So we're just going to run over it. And the reason I'm putting a little bit of icing sugar on my fingers to stop it getting sticky, because we don't want that. There we go. So we've got that just sort of a quarter on the edge there.
The link up as well.
Oh, well done. Right, so here we go. And then with the wreath, what we're going to do here. Now you've spelt Morella's name right.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, brilliant. I got called Melissa today.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah. Melanie the other day.
Did you correct them or did you just carry on?
I just carried on.
Yeah.
I couldn't be bothered.
And then what we're going to do is take hold of this one here, which is part of Blossom Leaf. Did I put any icing sugar on it? No, I don't think I did. I'm only just putting a little bit on just to stop it sticking.
Maureen said that If it can't go in your mouth in one go, it's too small. Yes.
How big is that?
Maureen.
Is that slightly bigger than a digestive, I
Yeah,
reckon.
yeah.
Yeah, a little bit bigger than a digestive biscuit. So
2 dunks.
2 dunks, yeah. So we're going to pop that on here because there was something I noticed about this earlier today and I thought, ooh, let's do that. So, and then we're going to pop another one in there. And that takes me to, it's going to take me to under half, so it's not going to fit. So what we'll do is we'll pull it out a little bit further and then we can always add leaves ourselves. Actually, what will I do? Shall I push it back a bit? And I'll push it back a little bit. We're going to wing it here. There we go. I'll push that one a bit deep, never mind. And then one there, like so. Oh, that one's a bit off the edge, never mind. That's okay. And then this one, I'll pull that one back a bit. They all laughing at me.
No, Maureen said
Maureen.
she can fit her fist in her mouth.
I've met Maureen. She should have actually shown me this trick.
That's a party trick.
That's a party trick, is it?
Love it.
I'm going to just put that back. Now, if you put this on here and then you think, oh, I don't think that's gone in, just slot it back in again and just press it down and you'll feel it kind of move back in there again. So there we go. We've gone all the way around there and we've got another one there. So we're going to paint these 2 up now. So we're going to do this with cocoa butter. Let's move this out of the way. So we've got a bit of space. Right, let's bring in the kit. So for those of you that are interested in cocoa butter painting, you've got a couple of ways of doing it. So I'm going to just turn this round because otherwise I end up juggling. Let's turn my board round that way. There we go. So this is a chrome food warmer. Okay, you can buy these on Amazon. You can't get them on Sugar and Crumbs or from me. You need to go and get them on Amazon. They're roughly about £10, something like that. Or alternatively, you can just use a bowl with some boiling water in it. So the only downside with the boiling water is that you have to change the water roughly every 20 minutes because as the water gets cold, then the cocoa butter will start resetting. Okay, so we're going to pop on a metal paint palette that sits on top there, and that's going to get hot because the heat's coming up from underneath it. And then we're going to put on cocoa butter, which of course is going to melt. So cocoa butter looks like this. So it's little tiny buttons, and then we're going to put those on there like so. So we've got patchwork on our website and so is Carol, so you should be able to find them on with us or on with Sugar and Crumbs. Now let's put some dusting colours on. So when we do painting with cocoa butter, you'll see it start to melt on screen. We use dusting colours. So we use, I know we've all been using Wonder Dusts and various things, but this is going to be just matte colours today. So we've got red, black, white and a colour called Woodland Green. Okay. I'm reading there. I still haven't tried cocoa butter painting. Oh, well, somebody's tried it this week and now they really like it. So I sort of challenge you to kind of get the box out and have a go. It's kind of one of those things you need to open the box and have a go. Right, Woodland Green is another colour. I like that colour. We use that a lot. And then we have white. So let's put white on there. There we go. And also Midnight, which is black, basically. I'm going to put that away from everything else because that tends to travel and make all the other colours messy. So there we go. Right, so we've got all our colours on this. Yes, anyone who needs convincing about painting, there's loads of people on here that have done cake painting with me and it's been very, very popular, so go for it. Should we do the big one first? Let's do the big one first. Right, let's move that over there. Let me just grab my drink.
Thank you, bless her. She's put all the links up.
Who's that? Nikki?
Because I'm too busy watching you.
You see, Morella's watching.
Oh, I'm rubbish, aren't I?
You're not rubbish.
I'm too busy watching you, what you're doing, to worry about the comments. Mesmerised.
Right,
Oh,
okay, so
God.
you will need, we sell paintbrushes which relate to my courses. So all our paintbrushes have got numbers on them. So if you have a look, well, this is a terrible example because it's number 2. So on there you'll see number 1. Can you see that? There we go. all the paintbrushes that we use have got numbers on them. So when I say, for example, I now need you to pick up paintbrush number 1, then you're going to know which brush it is that you're using. And we do have a set of 5 paintbrushes together for this particular job, because I tend to use the same brushes for everything. I have a set of 5, then I've got a couple of specialist brushes that we use for other things. Now all I'm doing at the moment is just checking that my paintbrush is clean. So I'm just dipping it into the cocoa butter and just wiping it onto the kitchen roll. You can see it's red because I was doing painting poppies earlier today. So we're just going to focus on this little bit of the poppy here, and then we've got a little bit of back leaf here, and then we're going to move on to the larger wreath. So all you're going to do, we're going to start with paintbrush number 2. Now paintbrush number 2 is one I use the most, and hence why the numbers completely vanished, because I've worn it out. That's how much painting I've been doing. So I'm going to just dip that into the cocoa butter, pick up some red, and I'm going to grab some white and just lighten it up a little bit. And that means I've then got room to do some shading. That's why we do it. So we don't paint with neat red, we paint with red with some white in it. So it comes out a sort of salmony pink colour, I guess, to start with. And then all we're going to do is we're just going to go over the poppy itself. Now, if anybody wants to have a go at cocoa butter painting, these patchwork cutters are fantastic for this because they're all marked out for you. So the only thing you've got to worry about is actually putting the paint down. So you're not worrying about being artistic or worrying about tracing images or anything like that. You are literally following the embossed shape of the patchwork cutter. So we're just going to pop this colour down here, so we know this is all red. So we're just going to fill it in. I'm actually going to swap brushes. I prefer a thinner one, I think. What have we got here? Brush 1. Let's go to that one. I'll go back to brush 2, I think. Let's just clear that out because that's had black in it. So clearly you know what I've been doing. I've been doing all sorts today. I'm reading what your Christmas plans are. You need to have a think about what you're going to put on your Christmas cakes this year, or maybe you're doing lots of Christmas cakes. If you're going to do a Christmas paint, you can always do a plaque in advance. So that's nice because you can do a lovely painted plaque and then you can put that on your Christmas cake at the last possible minute and you'll have actually had some time to enjoy it. So don't always feel you have to paint directly onto your cake. You can actually paint onto a plaque and then you can put it onto the cake after that, so people can lift it off as well, because sometimes people go, oh no, I can't cut that cake, look at that lovely painting you've done on there. But if you could lift it off, then that's going to help you, isn't it? So right, so round we go on this. So it's just quite a nice kind of large cutter, embosser, because you can cut these out patchwork, but I'm just using them as embossers. How am I doing? Not too bad.
Looks good.
You've all been making Carol's Christmas cake, so you need to start planning now. So you've got your cake made, you've got to plan what you're going to put on it now. So lots of different options. So there we go. We'll go down here. Like so. So all you need to do to start with is just basically get one layer on. We're not really interested in shading it or anything else. Now cocoa butter dries quite quickly, so it normally takes 1 to 2 minutes to dry in this kind of weather. When it gets to the summer, it takes more like 3 to 4, so the process just takes a little bit longer. And you just have to kind of treat it a little bit like chocolate, so you don't want to be leaving it in the direct sun or anything like that, because obviously you will melt it, so you just have to be a little bit careful. So there we go. See, that top part there is already dry where I started. But we're not going to hang around and wait. We're going to move on to the leaves. So we'll clean our brush.
Yeah, loads of people are decorating their Christmas cakes.
That's good. Okay, so we're going to grab some Woodland Green.
Remind Josie what the size of the cutters were, please, Tracy.
So that was a 5-inch round board with a 2.5-inch cutter in the middle, and that's the next size up. So I'm guessing that's what, maybe 3 inches, something like that. So Woodland Green with a little bit of white in it, and then we've got a hint of leaf here, so we're just going to paint that in there. So again, we're not trying to work out where they are, we can see where it is, so we'll pop that in there. And we've got a stem going on there, let's pop that in. So we've used kind of half the cutter here. I have actually done a full paint on this particular patchwork, which is on my YouTube channel. And I'm going to show you what that turned out like as well. So if you want to do that at all, then there is a full paint of this. But I'm just doing a half one on here tonight. And then I'm going to do this wreath that's next to me. Because the wreath flowers on it look suspiciously like poppies. And I thought, aha, I know what I can do with this, so I'm going to do that shortly. Yeah, nice little display then, won't you? Okay, so that's that bit done. And then what we're going to do is get some black. Let's turn that round there. If you are having problems, I'm just going to mention, I've just seen someone saying, is it freezing? If you are having problems with Facebook streaming, the video will go up on the Facebook, on the YouTube channel tomorrow. I know Facebook has been slightly temperamental. If you sort of log in and then log out, log in, you should hopefully sort that out. So we're starting with black, and then we're going to grab some white and we're going to turn that into dark grey. So that colour is the base of the centre. So all we're going to do now is just paint that bit in. It will look black when you paint it, but it won't be, because it will be dark grey. I know that sounds ridiculous, but you will notice it when you put the black on top.
Tracey, is there a patchwork cookie cutter of Father Christmas? Do you have one?
What's this? Is there a patchwork cookie cutter? I don't know.
Of Father Christmas.
There probably is, but I haven't started. I'm just starting to go through them now, so I'm not 100% sure. Okay. In terms of myself, we have got a Father Christmas cutter coming out of the weekend, a new one. It's arrived today. It's lovely. So there is an actual cookie cutter for Father Christmas that belongs to my cookie cutters that's coming out on Saturday. So
good.
I will report back on that one. Right. Okay. So that's all layer one done. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the red. Just clean my brush up in between. See, I'm only using one brush. I'm not swapping brushes all the time. I'm just going to use this other one though. I'm going to use paintbrush number 3, which has actually got a yellow in it, so I'm just drying it out. Now this one we normally keep dry, so I'm just going to make sure it is dry. There we go. And we can use that to blend our colour. So we're going to just take hold of some red. So this is red without the white in it, okay? Oh, Breeder, I have seen your chocolate snowman you've been painting today online. I did see them. I did recognise it. Very nice. Okay, so what we're going to do is take this colour and we're just going to go along here, just dab it on like so. And then we're going to take hold of our dry brush, which is a brush with no cocoa butter on it. And we're just going to kind of pull this colour through. And actually what happens is it tends to end up looking a bit like veins. It's quite clever actually the way it does this. So we'll go along here. And again, we'll just pull that like so. So we're going along the edge at the bottom or towards the centre. I'm going to put a little bit more on there. I'm going to come back and add more anyway, so get my brushes around the right way. So we're going to take this colour up into the rest of the poppy. It always looks better on screen than it does in front of me, and I think it's just the way the lights sit with me. Right, we're going to put some dark along this bottom one here. Now when you're doing this, you do need to brush it quickly, because if you don't, it will set and then you will end up with a line. So just do a bit at a time, like so. You should be able to see it coming to life quite quickly. I'm going to dab some colour down there. There we go. Sure I've inspired lots of you to do painting. I really hope so, because it's a really lovely activity to do, especially now the dark evenings are coming and you want to just sit quiet.
Relaxing.
There you see, even Morella's sold on it. You'll be leaving here with a cocoa butter cake painting kit.
In my bag.
Oh dear. All right, there we go. Let's paint that bit there. And then we'll just do the back of this one here, because that's where the sort of petals tipping over, like so. Okay, and then we just leave that again. So we just let that dry. Just put that bit around there, because we're going to go back and do it one more time. Most of the time I tend to paint things 3 times, because that then gives me plenty of depth. So let's go and have another look at the leaves. So this time, let's turn that round, we'll go for neat woodland green. So woodland green without any colour in it, any white in it. All we'll do is we'll just, again, just tap some down the side here, like so, just a little bit. Hopefully there's no more red on there. We'll just pull that through, like that. And then we'll do the same on this one at the top edge there. So just the top edges of it really. We're not doing the whole thing, and then we're just kind of using it to, using this dry brush here to pull it down. And we've got a stem here, so let's go down the left hand side of that stem, like so. And actually I think we will just create a bit more shadow down here, like that. There we go. Okay, so it's all fairly quick, you see. Look at that, very quick. Let's just clean this up.
People are very complimentary about your painting.
I'm concentrating, then every so often I look up and quickly see what's going on. I'm reading your comments. That's fun. Good. Excellent. Lovely. I do like to hear about all your projects you get up to and all your painting, all your baking ready for royal icing. I think Donna must be doing that. You can use this painting technique on loads of any other Blossom Sugarcraft cutters. I've done loads of YouTube videos on this. There is a lily that I've painted. I've done masses. So if you are thinking, gosh, I need to have a look at this, then do go to YouTube afterwards on my YouTube channel, and you'll see it come up. So I'm going to go and just use black on its own now. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of dab this middle bit here. So I'm just going to put a few little dots down here. So that grey will still show through. Sugar paste is still quite soft, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you paint this soft or not really. It really doesn't make any difference. And then I'm just going to just do some little dots just out. Oh no, I'm not going to do those yet. No, I'm not, because I'm going to do something else first. I'm going to use that black that I've got on my brush. I nearly went one step too far then. And I'm just going to add the red to it so I get a much darker red. So red and black together. Hopefully it's not too dark. Let's put a bit more red in there. And then we're going to go back into the poppy one more time and just create a bit more definition with the edges. So we're going to come along here. Where's my dry brush? I'm actually going to add a little bit extra cocoa butter on this to make it a little bit more liquid. And then we'll come down here, across the bottom here. So we'll start to make these a bit more defined. So these are all here for you. So you're literally just running the brush down there. Now, if you don't want them to come out too harsh, just take your brush and go over the top of it. Oh, it's coming out nice on camera, isn't it? So when I look up, then I can see it. When it's I've got camera lights shining on top of me, I can't really see that well what I'm doing. So if it's coming out all right, that's good. That's good news. Okay, and then we'll run this across the bottom here. It's just getting all of the colours in the right places, really. Bring that up like that. And then across here. So this is kind of like, this is not the full poppy, this is just the side bits. You've still got the rest of the sugar paste and this kind of biscuit bit showing, I think, which looks quite nice actually, rather than the whole thing. You don't need to do the whole thing all the time. Whenever you get a cutter in your hands, don't think, oh gosh, I've got to do the whole thing. You don't have to. You can just do aspects of it. Let's bring that up there. A little bit more in there. And then just bring that bit round here. And if you're thinking, oh gosh, this is one biscuit, you actually will end up getting quite quick at them. You'll be really surprised how fast you can get at these. I'm fairly quick these days, and you know, you would paint all of the bases one colour, then you go back, do the next colour, then the next colour, etc, etc. So there we go. Let's have a little look at that. That's looking pretty good, I think. Happy with that. And then what we'll do to finish this particular one off, clean my brush up again. And then we'll just grab some cocoa butter.
Elaine just said it's too good to eat.
Yeah, you just have to look at it. And we'll just do, so right up on the tip of this brush, I'm still on brush 1 at the moment, but if this was too chunky for you, you could use a 0 brush, so you would go down in size. And we're just going to go over this just on the edge of this poppy, like so. Only in that bit, because that's the bit that's showing. Nothing else is showing. You don't want to put too much on there either. So we'll just go back over this again and just kind of merge it all together. How's that doing? That's pretty good.
Mm.
There we go. And then I'll hold this one up so you can see it. So there you go. That's it. That's how quick it is. I've been live for 40 minutes, of which I was talking non-stop about something else prior to that. So you can see how quickly it is just to do kind of one biscuit. So there you go. So that's how to do a biscuit version of it. Now I've already recorded this one, which is the full version of this. There you go. So that's the full version of the poppy on YouTube. So if you fancy doing all of it, then you can go and watch a version of it on YouTube afterwards. But it's not a lot on a biscuit, is it? And actually I think it's really dramatic. So what I'm trying to do is explain to you that it doesn't actually have to be the whole thing to be able to be very sort of impactful, I guess, with what we're doing here. So there you go. You can see the difference between the two. In fact, I painted this one a little bit darker. I think I prefer this one a little bit darker. But you can see there, that's what it looks like in its entirety. This is on a 5-inch round circle, this one. So that's kind of how big it is. It is not cupcake size. You're going to have to use just a portion of it to get it onto a cupcake because it's just too small. Sorry, too big. A cupcake's too small. So if you want to do it, just use a small part of it and it will look fine. And you'll be able to just use little bits of it. And once you kind of leave that white gap, you don't need to fit the whole thing in. Leaving the white gap actually makes it look and stand out better anyway. So let's put that there. We'll have a nice little display at the end. Let's move you over there actually. And we're going to have a go at this. Now, the reason I picked this particular one is because it's not poppy. However, if you look very closely when I start painting this, it really looks like a poppy. I couldn't believe it. I don't know how I missed that. So I was quite surprised to pick up this afternoon because I was planning on just doing that. But actually then I spotted this and thought, aha, I have seen something. So if you're thinking, for example, if you wanted to do a display, you could do this in the middle and then you could do some cookies going around the outside edge of this. So you could have a really nice plate. Perhaps if you're taking some cookies somewhere for remembrance or something like that, that would look really stunning, really, really pretty. So let's go into this one. So we're going back to the salmony pink colour. Now the flowers on here are considerably smaller and it will take a little bit of time for them to stand out when I start painting them. So I'm going to just crack on with this and you'll hopefully see them appear. But you'd be amazed actually how similar they are to a poppy. I was quite surprised actually. Now I've pressed down quite deep in this sugar paste so it's lifting a little bit, but that's okay. And when I say lifting, I mean it's quite sort of up. You can always run your finger over it to flatten it down before you start painting. So we're just going to treat this the same. So there are a few on here. There's another one. Let me just look at this because it's upside down. Yeah, there's another one there. But I thought the idea was to kind of do a poppy wreath. I thought that might be quite nice using blossom leaf patchwork cutter, if anybody wants to know what it is.
Tracy, Sheila has asked, who taught you?
What to paint?
Well, cocoa butter paint. You mentioned that your mum is an artist. Did she influence you?
Well, my mum doesn't. My mum is an animal portrait artist and she is amazing. She is phenomenal, my mother, at animal painting. And I definitely learned how to do animal painting off her, no question about it. I had one lesson with a lady called Sarah Jones, who doesn't do cakes anymore, a long time ago. Other than that, no, I've just done it myself. So we're very creative in my family. My father does, I haven't told you that probably, Mel, anyway. My dad does wood carving. He's amazing. His stuff is amazing. And he also does, he's done painting in the past. And yeah, we're all into arts and crafts.
Brilliant.
on my side of the family. The only person who doesn't have an artistic bone in their body is my husband.
Whoops.
0. Thank goodness, actually, to
You
be
make
honest.
up for both of you.
Well, yeah, but I don't think he can stand the creative mess sometimes. And I think people who are creative will know what I'm talking about, because he just looks at me in just horror when I've got the acrylic paints out and all this sort of stuff. It's like, oh God, no, here she goes again with her mess. So yeah. I know, it's terrible, isn't it? But even my Charlotte likes to do, she likes painting by numbers. Bless her.
Oh, yeah.
She enjoys that. Kelly obviously is another artist. Her colour theory is off the scale. It's not fair.
I couldn't draw a matchstick person.
Yes, you could. I'm going to challenge you on that one. One day. Okay, you can see that coming out there. There you go.
Brilliant.
Right, so we're still in this funny sort of salmony pink colour, which, as you well know, goes to this. So, but you just have to start somewhere. That's the other thing with cake painting as well. It's the same as doing a novelty cake. It has to get worse before it gets better. And I always say that, you know, sometimes when I'm filming painting and I think, oh my goodness me, where is this going? This is just not looking right. And then all of a sudden it turns a corner and you think, oh, there you go. It wasn't so bad. But I've had several incidents where I've gone, I'm not doing this. And then it's fine. So you just have to push through and keep going with it. You've got to have some patience with it. But it works. It does work. You'd be surprised, actually. Especially with something like this where it's all mapped out for you. And all you're doing is literally just following a few sort of little shading tips that I'm giving you to be able to achieve something sort of really quite pretty. There we go. I just read what Maureen's written. Oh dear. So Kelly has this, well, obviously I've given her this amazing talent. What am I on? But anyway, she has that, I can't think what it's called now, but it's one of these things that you can see a colour and immediately know what's in it.
Like an interior designer type
it's
of thing,
yeah, it's got synesthesia or something like that. It's got a name. Someone's going to know, I'm sure.
Very clever though, isn't it, really? I wish
know.
I was more like that.
Well, I do, because she walked, and I found out when she was about 10. And she came into my cake room and I was making buttercream, and no matter what I did, this buttercream was not going the colour I wanted.
Oh.
And she leaned over the bowl and went, oh, you need to put yellow in there. And I said, what? She said yellow, and I did it, and it immediately went to the right colour. I couldn't believe it. I know. So I hate it when she goes away, because now Kelly, what colour is this? Yeah, she's brilliant. And she did a colour theory class with people on here.
Yes, I remember.
And she was brilliant at it. She's just brilliant. So she's in Amsterdam at the moment. She's looking around art museums. So Kelly is not here at the moment. I'm sure I've told her to post. Well, she better be. Anyway, she's going to post a picture of her art museums, apparently.
Okay.
I know, online. We'll see. There we go. Okay, so there we go. That's it laid out like that.
Oh, Maureen said that she used to carve turnips.
Oh, okay. Oh, I love
when they were kids, because obviously for Halloween.
Well, I've not done turnip carving, but I've certainly done pumpkin. That's fun. We've done all sorts. We've done like Scooby-Doo and stuff in a...
What, at home?
Yeah.
Oh, fab.
We've carved Scooby-Doo in the side of a pumpkin. That was funny. Right, have I got it all? This is where I spot things as I'm going round. So I keep seeing the odd thing here and there now. What else have we got that I've missed?
Sheila's on my wavelength. Will she pop into the cafes?
She won't. I'll tell you what, she won't actually. I'll tell you why. It's because she's allergic to everything. So yeah, she won't. She'll be a good girl. Right. Let's go back to Woodland Green with a bit of white in it again. So don't forget, you've got to strip the colour back. Otherwise, it ends up being, you can't shade it. Always looks dark, though, when you put it down. What are you laughing at now?
Maureen's put in Northern Ireland, we weren't posh enough to have pumpkins as kids.
And she's from Ireland, isn't she?
Yeah, she is, yeah.
Bless her. Maybe that's an Irish thing, the turnips. I don't know. Maureen will have to tell us. Right, so we're going round in Woodland Green now, just the stripped back Woodland Green with white. I'm still using paintbrush 1. Got to be honest, it's quite tight in terms of the paintbrush itself. I'm just about managing in terms of the, I'm going to turn it as I go, the stems. But if you wanted to go down a brush, you could go down to a 0 brush to help yourself. That's the brush Kelly paints everything with. She loves that brush. I don't know why, but she's always got that one on the go. My 0 brush is missing. I know who's got it. It's Kelly. So,
Jackie says the same. In Glasgow, they only had turnips.
No,
growing
I
up
didn't
and
know
not
that.
pumpkins.
Did you?
Never. No, I didn't know that.
Oh.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
No, I didn't know that was a thing either. We actually grew our pumpkin. We had an early Halloween party last week at home because Kelly's away this week. And then my husband actually grew, it was quite funny actually, we haven't got a very big garden, and my husband grew a pumpkin. It took over the,
Did he?
No, he took over the entire flower bed. It was the funniest thing ever, literally.
How big was this?
No, this pumpkin was huge, but the actual plant just took over everything.
Huge leaves, aren't
Hugely. It was
Yeah.
so funny. I'm not growing pumpkins again next year. Look at the state of my flower beds. There's a massive pumpkin in the middle, surrounded by... There we go. Can you see that coming on there? That's looking pretty. Let's
So
turn.
Elaine has asked, so that she understands it properly, you start with a paler colour, then you build up the layers.
Yeah, in this case, yeah. I mean, we do things the other way around sometimes. We start dark and get light. It just ultimately depends what you're doing. But in some of the lessons on the website, things are switched around. So sometimes it's dark to light, sometimes it's light to dark. But with this particular project, it's light to dark. And also, it's a little bit less scary if it's this way round, because sometimes
you
if you
can build it up, can't you?
Yeah, if you start with very dark colours, you know, you can, and if you make a mistake or anything like that, it can be a bit like, oh no. So
Donna has said she has never carved a pumpkin.
Oh, Donna, no, come on. This has got to be the year. You've got to go and get one and have a go.
It's quite messy, isn't it, to carve a pumpkin
Yeah, it's
out?
a bit messy, but it is fun.
Do you use the pulp to make soups and things, or
Shall I lie?
Yeah, just lie.
No.
Throw it all away.
Absolutely not. No. I don't, I'm
admit,
afraid.
yeah,
I tell you what though, tinned pumpkin, I know everyone's going to go, what, tinned pumpkin? We put a recipe up on one of my pages a couple of weeks ago, chocolate pumpkin cake. I tell you what, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Had this woman that came in, was having classes with me, and she kept bringing me all this stuff in, and one day she came in with chocolate pumpkin cake or something. I thought, oh no, this is going to be awful, I'm not going to like this. I have made that recipe so many times.
Really?
Yeah, I have.
So you can buy tinned pumpkin?
Tinned pumpkin from Sainsbury's.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
No, it is a thing.
I've had chocolate beetroot cake.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's
And
not very earthy though. You could really feel, I don't know, you could really taste you
detect the vegetables.
You could really tell it was quite earthy, but lovely though, really nice.
You can detect the vegetables. There we go. How's that coming on the screen? That's looking okay. So I've got a little gap there. I'm just going to connect that there. Just take my
Thomas, but you probably buy your soup from Sweet Success.
Yeah, I probably would. I love Sweet Success. They help me out immensely.
Not pumpkin pie. That's a good point actually.
What's that?
You can have pumpkin pie as well, can't you?
Can you?
But I couldn't even.
Pumpkin soup. I don't really like soup. I've got a bit of a phobia about. I know. I've got a phobia about soup. I'm not. It's the texture of it. I know it's weird. That's me to a T. Avoid. I wish I had a phobia for the pumpkin cake. That would help me. I won't make any more now because I haven't been able to get any more tins of pumpkins. I'm all right.
Yeah, it's true. You can't beat a pumpkin soup.
I'll have to make you that
the
pumpkin
chocolate
cake.
Yes, please.
I've got the recipes. If anyone's thinking they'd like to make it, the recipe's on one of my pages. I think it's on Tracey Mann cake demonstrations. It's definitely on there, I think. Or I'll try and post it on here as well. But it is really nice, yummy. There we go. We're all going here. Pumpkin Mr. Whippy, who's written that? Oh dear. Oh dear.
Pumpkin Mr. Whippy.
Can't put pumpkin in Mr. Whippy. That would be a crime, wouldn't it? See, there could be an argument now. It's no longer seasonal. Mr. Whippy vans will go away now, won't they, this time of year?
They
which is
will,
very
sad.
Yeah, I know. Very sad. But, you know, you can go to certain restaurants, they've got them, haven't they? I'm just thinking, like, is it not Pizza Hut or Harvester? I'm sure they've got one, haven't they?
They've got the machines, haven't
yeah,
they?
but they're not like frozen
You
yogurt.
You're having
they're not the same.
withdrawal symptoms.
Yeah, they're just not the same. I need to go back to Morelli's in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
They've got it done properly there. I'm sure theirs is all year round. That's where I need to go. Oh, there's loads of chat about what they're doing with all the pumpkins now. We actually grew this pumpkin from pumpkin seeds, though. I mean, this thing was huge. It just made me laugh. My husband is so pretentious over his garden. You know, he likes everything very sort of like in order. And there it was, this enormous pumpkin just taking over the flower beds. And of course, I'm so unhelpful. I just get the giggles.
You just laugh at
Oh dear, what's happened here? I'm sure it'll be fine, Chris. Don't worry about it. Yes, I know it's taken over the entire flower bed, but that's fine. Anyway, we have used it, so that's, you know, it's had its moment. Actually, I've missed a flower there, so I need to go back and do that one.
What was it called, that ice cream parlour?
Morelli's. It's in Northern Ireland.
Yeah, Maureen said that they've won an award.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah.
Gosh, their stuff is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. I'm sure it's phenomenally high in calories as well. It's like going in and having a meal of ice cream.
Sounds amazing.
I know, it was so nice. Anybody who lives or ever visits Northern Ireland, please go to Portstewart and go to Morelli's. Oh, my goodness me. Amazing. Right, there we go. Look, we're nearly back at the start for our little wreath cookie. This would be like a centerpiece, I guess, if you were doing a big kind of platter of these cookies, like these poppy ones here. So you would put it all on a nice big plate. And actually, if you look at the size of that versus that, you could, the centers you cut out of that, you could actually do as your poppy cutters, couldn't you? Poppy biscuits. So there's no waste anywhere. The only waste is what you're going to eat, isn't it? There we go. How are we looking on screen? That looks all right, doesn't it? So that's us all the way round the first time, which always takes the longest. Always seems to go on forever, but we're there. We've made it.
Lindsay says, have you ever tried a gelato ice cream?
Probably. I'm like an expert. That's Italian, isn't it?
The thing is, when I look at that, when I read that, gelato is ice cream translated.
Yeah, it's probably like the stuff.
It's almost like
You know, when you go to Italy and you've got a big cabinet of it with all the. Is that what? That's what I'm thinking. Is that what she means?
Gelato ice cream.
We need to find out where Jackie lives, McMinn. She's apparently got the best soft ice cream all year round. So we need to find, where are you living, Jackie? I need to come and visit you. I think she probably needs me to take her mail order directly to her house.
I think Jackie's in Scotland. I think she's in Glasgow.
Oh my goodness, is she?
I was paying attention.
Harbour Bar in Scarborough. I need to get out, don't I? Right, that's that all the way round. I'm just going to do that one there that I missed. There you go. There's always a rogue one.
So there's a Morelli's in Broadstairs, Kent.
No, is
there
really?
If you happen to be in Canterbury.
No way. Well, that's a lot nearer the Northern Ireland for me. I need to get down there then, don't I? Right, I'm going to put that on my hit list. That's still quite away from me. That's a good 3 hours.
What, Canterbury?
To Canterbury. Do you think 4? Might be 4 hours. Yeah. I could probably get on a plane and get to Northern Ireland quicker, I think. Yeah, that's my perfect menu, Donna. You've got it. Scampi and...
So Lindsay's confirmed it for us.
What's that?
Ice cream made with more milk than ice cream.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. More... Right, let me read that again. Ice cream made with more milk than cream, like traditional ice cream.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Right, we've done that bit. Now we're going to go back and we're going to... Now what we're going to do is we're going to put some of the red in. So remember, this is red without the black in it. Now it's a lot smaller. We've got our brush 3, but you can see the gaps are quite small. So you're going to have to be a little bit careful here. but it will be a lot quicker because you can do all 5 at the same time. But you can literally just kind of pull those out like that. I think it's going to stand out better for you than me. But yeah, it's much quicker.
Donna says just give you scampi and chips
Yeah,
and ice cream. You'll
I'm
be
a happy
extremely
girl.
happy.
Yeah. Got my Scampi account.
Helen
I've
says
told
that
you
the
about
best ice cream is Joe's in Swansea's. It's her favourite.
Oh, there's loads of ice cream parlours around, isn't there?
Yeah.
We've got the Works, haven't we?
Yeah.
In Aylesbury and High Wycombe.
Yeah.
But I don't go in there because they have waffles.
Waffles and crepes.
I know, and then I get in a bit of a bad way with indigestion afterwards. I just need the ice cream, not the waffles. I do want the waffles, but it's just not a good plan, is it?
Jackie says she's in Newton Stewart in southwest Scotland.
Oh, okay.
Just across the water from Mo.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was kind of up that direction this year. When I crossed, we drove to Northern Ireland. We were crossed on the ferry at Cairn Ryan. So that's where I was up there. It's probably up that direction somewhere.
Making it paler as you know, like you said about the base colour.
Yeah.
Then as you're highlighting it, it's making it brighter.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's making it stand out,
yeah,
and
definitely.
I'm making it 3D. Hopefully.
That's definitely
the plan anyway. I think what people do with painting, going back to painting and not ice cream.
Yeah. So what are we here for? Oh yes.
We're here for painting. Anyway, what people tend to do is they think poppy, red paint, paint it. Right, there you go. And actually it's not that at all. You need to do sort of 2 or 3 layers to get it to look really nice and deep. And then it really changes it. So it's about putting paint down thoughtfully, I guess, isn't it really? The idea with this is I think these will turn into a really nice poppy wreath. Well, I hope they will anyway. That was what I was thinking earlier. Let's go back and do that one again because there's not enough in there. There we go. So we're on red at the moment, remember? Yeah, it definitely shows up better on camera than what I can see.
Yeah, it looks good.
There's a light shining directly at me, so I can't. This is why I've struggled to see. I have to keep looking up at the camera to see what I'm doing. There we go. I went past your house going to Cairn Ryan. Oh, okay. I did go. We drove from Dumfries to Cairn Ryan. That direction.
Liz is from Ayrshire, not far from Jackie.
Oh gosh, there's lots of them up in Scotland, isn't
nice.
there? I do know some of their addresses from mail order, and classes and things. But I must admit that was the very first time I've ever been to Scotland. I've never been to Scotland. That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Glasgow it was gorgeous. Yeah.
I'd like to go back to Edinburgh. I'd like to go and have a look there.
Yeah.
Right, so with the buds, or what these little ones are here, I'm just putting a little bit of red at the back of it. I'm not sort of doing too much on that. So there we go. Look at that. Lovely. Right, let's change colour again. So we'll go back to Woodland Green. This will stand out. This will make the green stand out loads. Now I've got red in that cocoa butter there, so I'm just going to pick it up from the other side and grab some Woodland Green, just the Woodland Green neat, and then what we'll do is we'll start going down the side of these leaves. So we'll just pick a side and then we'll just very carefully just blend it through. Now this will start to stand out fairly quickly, but again you can do 2 or 3 at a time as long as you go back and just blend it. Now if you're finding this brush is too big, you can always drop down a size. What have we got here? That's brush. I'm painting with 1. Let's drop down to 2 to do your dry brush, as long as it's clean and dry. So I'm just going to clean this out because it's had red in it. Glasgow's better than Edinburgh. Oh, okay, interesting. Mind you, if anyone's watching from Edinburgh, they might come on then and say, is cocoa butter painting gluten-free? Gosh, that's a question, isn't it? Cocoa butter is cocoa butter. That's it. It's a product. It's like an egg, or it's like it's not a mixture of anything. It's cocoa butter. So if you're asking me if it's gluten-free, I would check with the Celiac Society, but I'm pretty certain it is. but I don't want to confirm that. You'd need to check. I'm trying to think of any reason why it wouldn't be. No. I can always find out for you. I can go back to the supplier and find out if you need to know definitively. Right, let's carry on. So let's put in some more of this dark. So I've cleaned up that smaller brush, which we can now use to do some of this dry brushing. What I'm concerned about, sometimes if the brush is really big, it kind of strips all the colour off, and then you've got nothing left to look at, like so. So this is a nice little project to sit and do. So if you fancy sort of sitting there one evening and just don't have to have a cake, you see, with cake painting, you can cover a board, you can cover a biscuit, you can cover, well, anything basically, with just as long as you paint on sugar paste. This doesn't work if you paint on paper. So if you think, well, I'll just have a practice on a piece of paper, what happens is the cocoa butter just gets absorbed into the paper and you can't actually achieve any of these effects. So you can't do this on paper. But a small block of sugar paste, if you just go and get yourself one from maybe the supermarket or, you know, wherever you buy online, and then just cover a board or cover some rich tea biscuits, get yourself a packet of biscuits, and then you can just sit and have a practice and just paint away until you get all these lovely effects. There we go.
We're causing a riot
Are we?
Up north.
Why? Oh, well, they're arguing about who's got the best place.
Yeah.
Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, it's all beautiful, isn't it? We live in the Chiltern Hills,
yeah.
which means that we're surrounded by woods, basically, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then HS2 is going to come through it.
And then the HS2 is going to come storming through, especially where Morella works.
That's
it's
right.
coming straight through where she works.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
Such a
and
shame.
the roads are a shambles, and we're struggling to get around. But never mind, we won't talk politics because we like to talk positively. Because I tell you, the news is very depressing. So it's nice to have a couple of hours doing painting and talking
Just
about
chilling.
lovely things like ice cream shops and where to get the best scampi and that sort of thing.
Where is the best scampi you've had?
Well, it's in Brighton.
Yeah,
that
was the best scampi.
That's so far. That's my in the.
Do you know, I think mine was Southend.
Southend,
yeah,
lovely. I do like scampi.
Southend.
Southend, yeah, it's nice.
So Elaine said cocoa butter is a protein found in gains. Was that meant to say grains? No.
Where's that?
And it's gluten-free.
Yes, I'm pretty certain it's because people think
butter,
oh, therefore it's not gluten-free. Well, it is definitely dairy-free. I know that. There you go. We're all learning something every night. Now, the thing is with cocoa butter as well, the joy of it is that once you've got yourself a little bag, it goes, I think the sell-by date currently is 2023. So it lasts a long time. And I reckon it's one of these kind of store-cupboard things. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because you can not only paint on sugar with it, you can paint on chocolate. And if you're painting on chocolate, you have to use cocoa butter because cocoa butter is the only thing that sticks to chocolate. So it's really important that if you do anything connected with painting on chocolate, that you use cocoa butter. Otherwise, if you use gels or anything else like paste colours, you'll be able to paint, it will look absolutely fine, and then when you touch it, it will just fall straight off. So if you're putting it in some packaging or something, it's going to slide off. So very important if you're doing any painting with chocolate, especially over Christmas. There, look how much that's standing out now. That looks lovely on there. I've just read that, yeah. Lovely scampi.
Jill lives in Southend.
Who does?
Jill.
Oh, lovely. Oh, there you go. So we're just going to paint the last of the leaves on the... So the leaves have now had their sort of shadow bit put in. And I didn't touch the stems, so I'm going to just go back with the stems now and just try and paint along the side of them.
Rose has asked if your cocoa butter printed sheets are gluten-free.
I think they are. Where's that?
Label.
There was a label floating around earlier today. What did I do with it? Oh, where's my laptop bag? Oh, I've left it at home. I've
Oh.
got it in there. Okay, I will look for you, but I'm pretty certain they are. Again, I'll have to check. I had a big envelope earlier today that had the full ingredients written on it, but the ingredients are on the cake toppers anyway, and we send them out, but I'm not too sure what it comments about gluten-free. I'll have to check for you. Okay, right, what am I doing? I'm painting leaves again. I should be painting stems, and I'm getting distracted.
Sorry.
Right, let's do stems now. Let's join this up a bit. There we go. So we're focusing on the stems with the darker colour. Like so. It's coming out okay, actually.
Lots of lovely comments about them.
I'm pleased with this. Am I tempting anyone to have a go at cocoa butter painting? That's what I want to know. Are you tempted? Are you now?
You make it look very easy.
It is easy. It is easy. I'm making chocolates with Karen Davis moulds this year. If I use white chocolate, can I colour different colours with cocoa butter onto white chocolate? Yes, you can. That's the answer to that. What you'll find with painting luster colours, so by luster colours I mean the Wonder Dusts, for example, you'll find they will use more cocoa butter and dust than the matte colours. The matte colours don't tend to use as much, so you'll find you'll use a lot more, so just keep an eye on that. Make sure you've got plenty in for whatever project is that you're doing. Right, we've highlighted the stems, we've got the red bits in for the moment, so let's do the grey centres. So do you remember we were going to do the centre grey?
You're definitely inspiring people.
Oh good, who's tempted? Come on people, you know you want to.
Kit has said she's going to paint more.
Good, that's what I want to hear. If you've bought a kit from me over the last 6 months and it's still in the cupboard, then I'm going to have to challenge you to get it out and have a go.
Janie's tempted as well.
Good, that's what I want to hear. So we're just going to go back now and just paint the centre of these. Now, I don't think this was ever sold as a poppy kit. It was just sold as blossom and leaf, but they look very similar to poppies. And I just spotted this afternoon and thought, you know what? I reckon this would work, you know. So I'm giving this a go to see. It's got very nice sort of pitted centre there with.
Tracey, the starter kit, that's got how many different colours?
11 dusts, 4 paintbrushes, cocoa butter and a metal paint palette. It's just a good place to start. It's really just get you going. There we go. So these are starting to stand out, but obviously we've got to go back in and do a little bit more work here. So we're going to go back to there we go. You can kind of see where I'm heading with this now. You will be hooked. Yeah, I can't be responsible if you you see that lady's written in capital letters.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's definitely hooked.
Definitely hooked.
Yeah, she is definitely hooked. In fact, she's been doing more than me at some points. I think she's definitely hooked. Right.
Roses, thank you for sourcing the clear boxes for Chocolate House.
Yes, I did. Who said that?
Rose.
Yes, yours are on their way as well. I posted yours today. So the haunted house cake that I did a couple of weeks ago that had the lovely haunted house on top, I've now managed to find some boxes. So if anybody wanted to put a house in a box for Christmas, then I've got some finally. Hooray. Right, we're going into the darker colours here again. So what we'll do now is we're going to have to be a little bit more careful with this because obviously we've got much smaller poppies. So we're just going to be little bit quicker with our dry brushing. So I'm just kind of, how's that coming out? Yeah, that's okay. So we'll just take that sort of down the side of the poppy there. Like so. Just around that little sort of bud thing there. I'm sure Marion from Patchwork did not design this as a poppy wreath, but that's what she's ended up with today. I will tell her later. Unless she's on. Sometimes she's watching.
Who's that? Who's that? Sorry, Tracey.
Marion. Marion Frost. She invented these patchwork cutters. So, and sometimes she's watching. Sometimes she's watching me. Yeah, once you stop painting, that's it, you're addicted. It's a nice addiction though, because once you get going and you understand it, it's actually quite it's low cost. It's not one of these ones where you've then got to end up buying cutter after cutter or whatever it is. It's actually fairly low cost. Once you've got your dusts and your paintbrushes and you've had a few lessons, you will see what you can do with it, and you'll be up and running very quickly. You'll probably find every time you do a bit of a cake now, you go, oh, I could paint that, and you won't worry about it. You'll just get your brushes out and do it, and that'll be it. So there's all sorts of things you can paint. Right. Okay. And we've got a nice beginner's course as well. So if anybody's thinking, gosh, I'd really like to do this, but apart from the free tutorials on YouTube, which obviously there are quite a few in terms of painting flowers like this, there is a beginner's course, which again, lots of people have done on here. There's odd beginners courses, as in 1 or 2 projects, but there is actually a full beginners course as well in flowers if you fancy doing flowers, or in little sort of animals and stuff if you fancy doing that kind of thing. It just entirely up to you, really. It just depends what you like the look of. So Maureen is not 29. I know how old Maureen is because she told me.
We've got a few 70s on here.
Oh dear.
Yeah, Sheila's turned, she's 17 January, sorry. Maureen's 29.
Yeah.
Margaret's 63 in November.
16 January. Oh, January's a good month to have a birthday. Like, only the best people are born in January.
Really?
Yeah, sorry. We know how old you're going to be in December.
Yeah,
but
I hate my birthday in December. In between Christmas and New Year, it's rubbish.
Right, okay.
Alison's going to be 16 January.
Let's do the middles. So we're going to go back to the black. We're still on, actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I know I've just done that. I'm going to switch to 0. Let's get the 0 brush out. What have we got here? Brush 1. Did I even get a 0 brush out? That would be Kelly. She's hidden it from me again. That's 0, 0. Actually, that might be okay. There's also a 0, 0. Let's use that.
Janie's going to turn 87.
Is she?
Yeah.
No. Oh, my goodness. I didn't think she was 87. She didn't look 87.
Well, not by a profile photo. She doesn't look
No.
87. Lindsay's 41. Anne's 83.
Oh, we're all going on about our ages today.
Jenny's 48.
I like Nikki's comment.
Mo. Then you put out, I love that.
Right, okay, let's go back to the centre of these. So the same as before, we're just going to dot the middle and then take the black out a little bit further. Now, you're probably not going to be able to see much of this. What I'll do is I'll pick it up at the end so you can see it all. But the principle of it is the same as this. So I'm literally just dotting the middles like that and taking it out a little bit further. But you can see it's turning into a very nice wreath, actually.
Nikki's going to be 60.
When's she going to be 60?
In April.
My goodness, this is all next year. My brother's turning 50 next year. I cannot wait. Honestly, I'm in overdrive. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to torture him.
There's not much between you then.
No. 16 months or something like that. Not a lot. Right, there we go. Even though he categorically reminds me I'm the eldest. I will not forget he's 50. Right, there we go.
Does look good.
How's that looking? Good. Is that looking all right
Yeah.
from where everybody's looking at? So yeah, that is basically a poppy wreath. That's kind of the idea that I had with that, using the Blossom patchwork cutter, which is this one here. So in this pack, there is more than this. There is one going this way, which is the one I've got, and there is one going the other way. So there is actually a reverse of this one as well. And then there's also some little leaves as well. So for example, if you wanted to add in a few extra little leaves to make it a bit sort of bigger, because the problem with this is if you then press this down, you're going to get all of this as well. So that's why they've also got separate ones. I wonder if I've got any in front of me. I've got a bag of patchwork cutters that lives next to me, but whether I can find that one quickly, I don't know. Let's have a look what we've got. Oh, look, there's one. So that's the reverse of that one, or is that the same one? No, there you go. So that's the reverse. So that one is the reverse of that one, like that. What's this one? That's magnolia. I'm trying to find the little leaves that go round it. I'll have a quick rummage. I can't see it. Oh, there's one. Okay, so they look like that. So there you go. There's another little leaf there. So what you would do, let's put that in there. So if you wanted to sort of pad this out a little bit, you can always sort of press this down there, for example, and you can just increase, because the leaf shape is the same on here. They do a small version of this as well. So you would be able to just add in a few little extra bits there. So if you wanted to make it a bit more thicker than what I've done tonight, then you can sort of stamp your own in. You can, of course, be ultra brave, which I know everyone now will go, no, I'm not doing that, is you can add in your own freestyling leaves, which I feel already, you know, that they're, if you wanted to do your own sort of leaves here, you could, or you can take hold of this, as I say, and just do that. You could probably do it without leaning too much on it. Let's see if I can do it. If I wanted to put an extra set in there, let's say I'm going to just press down. I'm going to kind of, there you go, look at that. I've done it. Da, 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 da.
Maureen has asked, how soon could I make the cookies to take to London to give out on the 14th of November before they go soft kind of thing?
7 days before.
7 days.
Yeah, I'd say 7 days before.
That's good, isn't it?
I think so. I don't think cookies really deteriorate that much, to be perfectly honest. I think they're pretty good.
Quite resilient.
I think so. Even cakes are more resilient.
They last 7 days in my house.
Yeah, well, I think even cakes are more resilient than people think. You know, you can actually sort of make your cakes last. That's worked really well, actually. I'm going to do another one around here. Look, it's puffing it out a little bit. So let's see if we can put another one in here. So I've just got this little extra bit here. Just press down, but I'm sort of tipping it forward so I don't catch all of it, because I don't want to, you know, I want it to look like it's part of the same thing. So if you want to make the wreath a little bit bigger, you can adapt within the blossom patchwork cutter bit there. There we go. Take that round like that.
Liz has asked if fondant would soften biscuits. Was thinking with Tracey using royal icing thick to adhere the fondant, would this keep them crisp?
What's the new fondant with softened biscuit? I mean, it's going to soften it a little bit. Don't forget the fondant or the icing, the royal icing that I used to stick this on was really quite thin. I didn't sort of make it.
Use a lot of it, did you?
No, I didn't use a lot of it, and I didn't make it very runny. It was actually sort of like a thick paste, I would describe it as. So if you're worried about, you know, making them soft, then don't make that royal icing too runny, because obviously if it is runny, it will go into the biscuit and make it soft. I quite like soft cookies. That seems to be a big question at the moment, is will it go soft? But actually I quite like them soft. So yes, you could make cupcake toppers with this for sure. There you go. You can see this building up quite nicely now, can't you? Let's see where we can put that one. I've put that in an awkward area. I'm going backwards and forwards on myself here. Where are we going to put that? Well, let's go in. I think we'll have to do a little bit there and a little bit there. So let's see if we can do 2 there. There we go.
After all the time it takes you to paint these biscuits, are you going to eat them?
No, I'm going to keep them looking lovely. Well, I might send them off with Morella.
No, keep them. They're lovely.
We'll look at them for a little while.
Yeah, just look at them for a little while. Snow globes are good that you did as well.
They're
really good, aren't they?
You like my snow globes.
Love them.
We've started to enter Christmas zone now.
Love it.
So yeah, we've started to look at things like snow globes. How's that coming out? You see, that's bushing it out nicely, isn't it? To put it mildly, put it on. Let's put that another little bit in there. Yeah, this works really well. So just use the one side of it, and then you can add little bits in as you go round without kind of damaging the rest of it. I think that's the key, isn't it? Is not damaging the rest of it. So if you just use this on its own, you obviously get the one that I did before. If you're going to add a couple of extra leaves there and your confidence isn't where it needs to be, then just use the corner of this, and then you can just pop in a little few extras there, like so. But I think I'm pretty happy with that now. I've added in a few extra ones as well. There we go. Oh, I like that. I'm looking at the screen above now to see what I'm doing, and I actually think that looks
That's
really
gorgeous.
nice. I'm very happy with that. Right, let me just move this out of the way. I have to make sure I've blown out that candle because I forget. Right, let's move that over there. Let's just take that down for a second. Oh, it's going to clean the board. I've just wiped black all over it. That's no good. Let's take that off there. Let's give that a bit of a wipe. Oh well, it would have been fine till I put dusting colour all over it. Let's put that back on. There we go. So you can have a look at everything that I have done with poppies. There we go. How about
Beautiful.
that? So there you go. So these two I've done tonight. Let's turn that way. This one is on the YouTube channel already as its own project. So if you want to follow just this one on its own, then you can follow it on there. But I've near enough done it all on here anyway. So you've kind of got the whole thing there. But I think that's a pretty good poppy selection. So don't forget that was Patchwork Cutter Poppy. And I've used Blossom and Leaf, which is not listed as poppy. Okay, it's listed as Blossom and Leaf. It's a completely different cutter. So don't go looking for this as a poppy. It is listed as Blossom and Leaf. So you can obviously change those around and get things sort of to look different. I think that looks really pretty as a poppy, actually, doesn't it? It's come out well, actually. There we go.
Really good.
So there you go. All right. Hopefully that gives you enough information for you all to be leaping for your paintbrushes and having a go at cake painting, which of course we all know you want to do, really. I say that, she says, chuckling away to herself. Right, okay, so there we go tonight. That is my dress for the cake lessons. For some of the bits of equipment, I've also got this one as well. The sites go between each other anyway, so you can always go between the two anyway. Thank you very much for watching. For those of you that watch me on Tuesday evenings, I'm here at 6:30. So I will be back again next week at 6:30. And we're kind of launching into Christmas now. And I've got Christmas demos planned out already. Some of them I was dying to do one tonight, and I thought I can't do it yet because it's not quite Christmas yet. I need to resist. Once we hit November, then I don't feel so guilty, so we can then launch into Christmas next week, and that's what we will be starting to focus on. So there's going to be cake painting, there's going to be all sorts of different things, chocolate molds, you name it, all sorts. And the way we've done Halloween this year, there's been absolutely loads and loads of things to do with Halloween. So hopefully, I'd say I've given you lots of inspiration. Oh, thank you so much, everybody that's talking to me. So I'll be back Tuesday next week at 6:30. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for a lovely evening, ladies.
Thank you very much for everybody that's joined us. I'll be live on Saturday for those of you that follow me on Saturday. I'll be live at 10 o'clock, and I will see you all next week at 6:30. Have a lovely evening. Take care, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.
Bye.